7 days. How can we proceed?
Okay. So, I think, honorable members, you must be having the responses on your desks. The responses for Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company Limited, from Canal Water and Sanitation Company Limited, Virginia Municipality, Mairo Iya Municipality, and Canal Municipality. For the financial year 2024-2025. So, honorable members, before we dive into the examination of these reports, let me just highlight some housekeeping issues. You are aware that we are sitting courtesy of the Speaker's ruling that allowed us to sit even when the House is in session. You know, in recess, so we are coming back in February. Which date? 9th of February. But the Speaker allowed us to sit this early because of the ruling of the High Court that required that, and members of the media, you are here, this is very important for you, that required that henceforth all audit reports must be examined in line with Article 229 of the Constitution. Article 229 provides that once the Auditor General publishes audit report, Parliament, that is National Assembly, even county assemblies and the Senate have up to 3 months to examine the Auditor General reports. That means that the Auditor General published the reports in December and they were tabled before the House. So we have January up to end of March, which is 31st, to have examined the report. So this House, this committee is sitting to ensure that we process all the audit reports for 2024-2025 for all the counties by 31st of March. So we have a backlog with us, which we must clear by 31st of 26. And that includes tabling the reports before the House and debating the reports and maybe approving or rejecting by the House. So, honorable members, you have a heavy task, and we have scheduled a minimum of 4 meetings a day. So this is the first meeting. We have 3 meetings to go today. So it's going to be heavy work on your part. And because of that tight timelines, we have agreed with the auditor that for managing time, we will only look at substantive audit queries, which in the judgment of the auditor are substantial or are a high fiduciary risk for consideration by this committee. So that is because of the tight timelines that we have and the constraint associated with that. So when you see us maybe pointing out key audit queries, and know that is because of the pressure of time that we are going through. So that we had discussed with the auditor, and the auditor knows what he needs to do. So, honorable members, we will start with the municipalities, and we had agreed that the 3 municipalities have similar issues. So the auditor will point out the queries that he thinks that this committee can look at, which are in line with what I've just said. So auditor, you can take us, point out the substantive issues in the three municipalities, Engineer Municipality, Mairo, Iya Municipality, and Olkalau Municipality. And then after the municipality, we'll proceed to the water companies. We need to manage our time so that we are able to get to the other two meetings which are happening from 11. So it's really tight on us. Auditor, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. For the municipalities, we look at the municipality, the unqualified report. The three municipalities, that is Engineer Municipality, Maroinya Municipality, and Olkalau Municipality. Out of the audit queries, the key audit query which cut across all the municipalities, a lack of operational autonomy. And Chair, maybe I start with the engineer. During the year under review, the county government incurred an expenditure amounting to 10,095,006 shillings in respect of Engineer Municipality. However, although the municipality prepared separate financial statements as required by Section 46, subsection 1 of the County Government Act 2012, the county government continues to perform functions which should have been transferred to the municipality. This is contrary to Section 48, subsection 1A of the County Government Act 2012, which states that subject to subsection 3, the functions and provision of services of each county government shall be decentralized to urban areas and cities within the county established in accordance with the Urban Areas and Cities Act number 13 of 2011. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law.
Are you done with the three queries?
Yes, I can also go to the next query, which is almost the same.
No,
Chair.
Yes.
Point of order. You know what the auditor said? There is no operational independence across the three municipalities. So he doesn't have to read all the three. So I thought we will discuss. When he has already read the one for engineer, so we just discuss across so that the governor can tell us why they have not done this, instead of reading again for the other. And you've said we have issues with time.
Okay, then I call upon the governor to read the response for Engineer Municipality. Yeah, and to give an explanation about the others.
Thank you, Chair, Honorable Senators. I think the question by the auditor is very clear. My response would be that the process of granting not only engineer but Kalau and also Mairinya autonomy has now been completed, and the evidence being that all the three managers have now been appointed as accounting officers. Number two, we have already opened special purposes accounts for the three municipalities, as you can see under annexes. And also, we have a gazette notice now transferring functions to municipalities. So, but as we sit here, the situation is different. Now they have gained some autonomy, though we will still further that later.
Auditor, your comments? Maybe before you go there, have you offered the explanation for the other municipalities?
Yes, I've tied them together.
So, Auditor, your comments on the response?
Thank you, Chair. At the time of the audit, of course, there was not non-compliance of the law, but we'll be able to check when we go to the next circle now to confirm whether they have all the requirements. The operation now will be, the municipality is operating in autonomous manner.
Honorable members, your comments on that query?
Chair, mine is that's a good step. I just wanted to find out that autonomy. Does it include also the function of collecting revenue by the municipality within the municipal? Have you given that function to the municipal, or you're still collecting as executive?
Chair, in response to the member's question, transfer is gradual, mostly as a result of maybe some of these municipalities are less than 2 years old. So we have made it gradual. We are first of all doing capacity building and also making sure that the staff we have already deployed there are well trained to handle, especially issues with finances. They require proper handling. So it's gradual. We have given some functions and others as we are still progressing.
Chair, if I may ask on the same, can you commit before this committee the time frame that you are giving for that? You are saying it's gradual, but it can never be forever.
Thank you, Chair. The commitment is that, not even commitment, is an assurance that we have done it. But depending on the function, it will depend on the situation. But those ones that they're able to manage right now, we have given them. It's not about time frame. But the rest, we will progress gradually until they are able to handle all of them.
Auditor, I just need an explanation from you as to why this became a query. Because if you look at the Gazette notice, it is dated 19th April 2024. And I'm sure you started your audit after that, much later. So how did this become a query? And they had made an effort to even gazette and transfer functions. So maybe you can explain to the members, how did this become a query then?
Thank you, Chair. As a municipality, as an entity, needs to operate in an independent way. But when we found that, when we did the audit, we found quite a number of functions are still being run by the county executive. So that is why we queried. We raised a query because though they had already gazetted, but some of the functions were still being handled by the county executive.
Chair, maybe to clarify that, I think the main one was opening a special purpose account for the funds to be with the municipality, which you have now done. At the time of audit, that had not been done. But now it's already done, and also the managers are accounting officers.
Chair.
Yes, proceed.
Chair, I'm feeling a little frustrated by the way we are handling the issue of municipalities, because these queries will keep coming up from the auditors about the independence of the municipalities. And we are realizing that governors are having a challenge releasing the operations, the functions of municipalities for obvious reasons. It's part of, it's really basically where they get their own source revenue. And as a committee, we had mentioned at one time that we will have a sitting with governors so that we agree on how we are going to make these municipalities functional without also stripping counties of necessary on-source revenue. I think if we don't sort out that as a committee, we will go in circles every other time. And I don't know for how long we'll do that.
Chair,
Yes, Senator Madam.
just to follow up on that,
I would also want to know what the law says about that. Is there something like handing over gradually, or what does the law say?
You go.
With your permission, Chair, under that is the Urban Areas and Cities Act, there is under the, just a minute, this is under the first schedule, they gives the criteria on what qualifies to be classified as a city and a town. And for a municipality or an urban area to be classified as a town, as a city, as a municipality, or as a town center, there are some services that they should be able to offer, and there are functions that are already provided there. So by the time the counties are giving or designating a municipality, and under sections, that is under section, with your kind permission, section 9 of municipalities, there is criteria that should be followed, which includes, that is under paragraph, that is subsection 3, that a town is eligible for conferment of municipal status under the East Act, that is Urban Areas and the Cities Act, if the town satisfies the criteria that is provided there, that it has a population of at least 250,000 residents. Then B, as an integrated development plan in accordance with the Act, it has demonstrable revenue collection or revenue collection potential. It has demonstrable capacity to generate sufficient revenue to sustain its operations. E, has the capacity to effectively and efficiently deliver essential services to its residents as provided under the first schedule that I've alluded to earlier. F, has institutionalized active participation by its residents in the management of its affairs, and then it has sufficient space for expansion. H, has infrastructural facilities including but not limited to streets, lighting, markets, and fire stations. And I, has a capacity for functional and effective waste disposal, Chair.
Now, Chair, I finish my question. Does this mean that most of the municipalities are not ready and does not qualify to be called municipalities? Because that is the criteria and that is the law.
Well, there is a difference between failure and compliance. So I think the query was talking about issues of compliance. That yes, they qualify based on the criteria, but they have not complied with some aspects of the law.
And Chair, that is where my question comes up.
So I think the best person to respond to that is Your Excellency Governor. You try
Chair,
to
I
make
want
the
to-
member understand the issue about the failure or compliance.
Chair, I want to agree with you that most of these municipalities qualify. There could be a bit of non-compliance, which sometimes it is inevitable. The member of the committee from Kajiado has put it very clearly that sometimes you find a whole county has one major town which carries the municipality. This town is the one that gives OSR resources for this county. So what happens, as much as it is written there at a certain article that they're able to collect revenue, but that revenue being collected at that area is also required by other satellite towns very far away from the municipality. So such an aspect of collection of revenue what normally happens, Chair, and I would want guidance by this committee if it can be done differently, is that once the county corrects these resources, we give a budget now to the municipality. Now the municipality now does the functions that have already been given there, but of course we share this resource with other outside stations. So I want to agree with you, the compliance will come gradually as we also build it as a towns to continue to begin also giving resources. But generally, they qualify.
You know, this elephant called the municipality will continue being a challenge to counties, yours included, unless governors, you do something about this. Either you strictly comply with the Urban Areas and Cities Act, or you seek amendments through COG to that act so that you are able to comply. Because the law as it is, it considers municipality to be independent. They have autonomy, even from the county government. And so long as that there is a thin line between the county and the municipality, the Auditor General will continue to raise that as an audit query. So I think governors under COG, you need to propose amendments to the Urban Areas and Cities Act so that this Senate can help you. Otherwise, the auditor will continually raise, because we have spoken about this. I think this is the third time we are speaking about the same thing, that something needs to be done to the law. Because the same way you are devolved from the national government is the same way the Urban Areas and Cities Act expects you to devolve further to the municipalities. So even revenue collection must be done under municipality. Even staffing has to be independent from the county. They must run their own account. They must have their functions must be transferred from the county to the municipality. If that is not done, we will continually be facing this challenge like we are facing now, the issue of independence of the municipality. So I don't know what the governors are doing under COG. You need to tell us, what have you done on this matter under COG?
Chair, I get your advice.
Yeah.
And being the chair of trade at the COG, I'll be able to consult my colleagues, and then we see how we move about this. But the chair, you know, Senate is also the most important tool of managing resources of the county. Right now, we also receive money from the exchequer. Right now, we have not received the money for December and January. And the law says that we should receive money by 15th of every month. At the same time, there's so many other, like the budget, the revenue team sometimes recommend that we get 425 million. But the two houses sometimes, especially the to somewhere. So I think we are still developing, we are still growing. That is, we are saying these things are progressive, Chair.
Yeah, but I think we need, I think this committee is going to say one thing. We are going to issue a directive to counties to comply, fully comply with the law. Until we amend the law, we must comply with the existing law, the Urban Areas and Cities Act, which provides that the municipalities must have financial, managerial, and organizational autonomy. But before I come back to you, maybe Governor, you need to tell us about the boards. The boards for these municipalities in place. Because I can see the auditor has written, raised that issue of the boards.
Thank you, Chair. It's very unfortunate that before Governor Badilisha came to Nyandarua, the two municipalities operated without board. But right now we have boards in place, but with Maironya, two members whom we had recruited, due to one reason or the other, they left, and we are on the process of replacing them. But the board exists. In Orokarao, we have full board. In engineer, again, the board is in place.
Legal?
Through Chair, I was commenting on your earlier on the issue of functionality and operationalization. Maybe they might consider section 11B of the Urban Areas and Cities Act that recognizes that the establishment of the principal and agency relationship between the bones of urban areas and cities and their respective county governments. Maybe with that they can come up with an agreement on how they can be able to share maybe the functions and the revenue that can come from these from the municipalities. With that, then they can be able to maybe make them fully functional and operational.
Yeah, Governor, you can respond to that comment by the legal officer.
I take the advice, and I think this is the way to proceed as a COG, finding an agreement so that it's not only one county which is doing this, because it's the only way, because as a member put it, really these resources can only be shared between the municipality, the host municipality, and the county. So I think we can formalize the agreement on how to share so that we can be able to implement that responsibility of the Act.
Yeah, I think, honorable members, you know that the matter of municipality now, this is the third session we are dealing with in all the counties. The same issues. Lack of autonomy. And I think as a committee we have to sit down and put closure to this matter so that we don't have this back and forth. Every year we are told there is no autonomy. So I think we will have to give a deadline in which all counties must comply to the law as it is. And if they have any difficulty in complying to the law, they need to say so. We set up a meeting with the COG, they never turned up to deal with this matter. We set up a meeting, they didn't turn up in Malindi. We were to discuss this matter of autonomy of municipalities and the matter of adherence to Urban Areas and Cities Act. So this is not just for Nyandarua, but for all counties. I think the clerk, we will have to sit down as a committee and give a deadline so that back and forth thing is stopped. All municipalities in Kenya should comply to the law on Urban Areas and Cities Act. So I think that is a fair thing to say today because everything rests on the issue of autonomy. If there is no autonomy, then we are doing nothing as far as municipalities are concerned. You can even see from the audit queries that even the issue of staffing, it's county second staff to municipalities, but they are still on the payroll of the county. So the problem is still persisting. So governors, now that you are the chair of trade committee, please ask your colleagues to comply to the law, and the auditor will not be able to issue that query again. So, Senator Mbugua, I saw you raising your hand.
The issue I wanted to raise has been addressed.
Yeah. Okay, any other issue on that, honorable members? So that is to do with the 3 municipalities. Now we move to the water companies. Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company and Olkalau Water and Sanitation Company Limited. Welcome. I'm sure there are some new members who have joined us. If you had not introduced yourself, you can now introduce yourself, but guided by the governor. So the governor, new members who have joined. Proceed. If you didn't introduce yourself, please introduce yourself. Use the mic, please.
I am Jeroge Dixon, acting FD on Wasco.
Who are confident one? Huh? This is a new year with the new things. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. I'm CPN Dixon Jim, MD Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Joram Kiarie. I'm the Chief Officer in Water, Environment, Climate Change, and Natural Resources.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Joel Gishoke, Accountant, Nyandarua Water and Sanitation.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Dedito Kevin, a Senior Climate Change Officer.
Thank you, Chair. My name is CPA Millicent Theohi. I'm internal auditor in Orokawa Water and Sanitation Company.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Mwanzia Jambia, Director, Water and Sanitation in Nyandarua County.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Godfrey Jenga, the Chair of Orokawa Water and Sanitation from the Company Board.
Welcome. So, Auditor, you can proceed in the manner we had agreed for the 2 water companies.
Thank you, Chair. The report of the Auditor General on financial statements of Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2025, and the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the Olkalau Water and Sanitation Company for the year ended 30th June 2025. The two companies got qualified opinion, and out of the issues raised for the two companies, the cross-cutting issues are three. The first one I will start is the long outstanding trade and other receivables. So maybe to start with the Nyandarua Water, the statement of financial position as disclosed in note 18 to the financial statement reflects Kenya shilling 33,013,289 shillings in respect to trade and other receivables, out of which the total of 24,026,836 or 72% relates to the customers whose debt has remained outstanding for a period of over 60 months. Management did not explain measures put in place, including legal action to enforce collection of the outstanding debt. Further, the trade and other receivable data revealed that 1,997 customers with active meter numbers had cumulative debt of 2,454,697, some dating back as far as 60 months. This is contrary to paragraph 4.6 of Nyandarua Debt Management Policy, which states that the company will have no option but to refer to deferred customers to the Credit Reference Bureau if the debt remains unpaid for a period of 60 days. In the circumstances, the recoverability of receivable balance of 33,013,289 shillings could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Governor, your response. And remember, this query is applying the same to all Kalau. So we are going to combine the two as we move on. So you can read the response for Nyandarua.
Chair, if I can connect the two institutions, I want to agree with the auditor that there's...
Maybe just read the response first and then you can give the explanation.
Okay. Based on the auditor observation, we have managed to bring down the receivables by making sure that the customers of the company, we have entered into agreements with customers on debt repayment, and we have also introduced the use of water police unit. This is before referring them to the Credit Reference Bureau. This has resulted into a positive because, as you can see there, out of the 29 million, we are now left with only 24 million. Therefore, if you can look at our annexes, we have debt repayment agreements with the customers we have attached there. We also have a debt collection unit who are now policing that. And we expect that with that, we are going to reduce the receivables to an acceptable level.
Auditor, your comments on the responses?
Thank you, Chair. The issue still was not addressed because the amount is still outstanding. So until when it reaches a reasonable figure, that is the time we can say the measures have resulted, have given the results. Thank you.
So you see now, Governor, this query has been recurring every year. We have been facing the same query for the two water companies, the Nyandarua, where now the debt is 24 million, and this other one, Olkalau, where the debt is 10.7 million. And last time you appeared before us, you said you are going to use all means to make sure that this money is recovered. So that is what the committee expected you to tell us. What have those means that you made reference to yielded any fruits? Because even for this Nyandarua, from the figure that was there previously of 29 million, you have just gone down by 5 million to 24. So maybe you can explain to the members who want to see the steps you have taken from the previous meeting to now to reduce that amount. And the MDs are here, please. You need to assist the governor to respond to this, because you know you have been here 3 times and the same query is appearing. So maybe...
So Chair, maybe even as they prepare to respond, it would be good for them to tell us, out of these 24 for Nyandarua and the 10 million for Olkarau, how much is owed from the institutions which are owned by maybe the national government, the county government, and probably the private people, so that we can see how we can assist in correction if the hospitals are paying, so that we can know where the problem could be.
So, Governor, you can respond, assisted by your managers for the two companies.
Chair, maybe before I allow them to add something, I would like to tell the members that the issue of water sometimes becomes very emotive, because when we employ some of these measures, the politicians, like the MCAs and other politicians, sometimes they would prefer that the residents are not charged. So you remember, even it was in papers, it was in radio, throughout the country, there was almost a constant strike across the country, people saying that they are not able to pay the tariff that had been brought forward. So there's an issue we've been handling through public participation, discussion with the residents, and that is why you can see this change from 29 million to 24 million. So I can assure the members, having controlled the emotions that were there. And again, Chair, I would also like to state that we've been using a tariff which was passed in 2014. This tariff was 20 years old. Fortunately, in 2024, we have now changed to a new tariff. This new tariff is also going to help us to correct more. In fact, we have already started seeing some positive change. So I want to assure the members, with the new tariff, and with now people having understood that they need to pay for water, and again having agreed with our colleagues, politicians, that it's good to pay so that we can give service, there is some progress. But it's a very emotive issue that sometimes people are told not to pay, and it becomes very difficult. But I can respond to the members that there are some positive change with the police unit that we have put in place, and also the way we are interacting with our customers. We are going to have changes.
What about what Senator Mbugo has asked about the recoveries from institutions?
Let me allow my waziri to say something there.
Thank you. Through the chair, I can have in very reliable information here that the forestry, AFS owes Olkalau Water 230,000,
The hospital, that is JM Hospital, they owe Olkalau Water 848,000. Olkalau Dairy.
Just stop at the hospital. You know, hospitals now have FIF. They should not be struggling to pay you.
Through the chair, we have a part payment agreement form with them. They have signed it and they are pledged to pay. We also have Olkalau Dairy with 280,000. So this forms the bulk of those who haven't paid. And we have even copies of demand letters with them. So that
county government, how much does it owe you?
I can quickly look into that. And okay, CCM Finance. We gave you a demand letter the other day. The county government has cleared the amount, so that's confirmation from the chief officer.
Pardon?
The county government doesn't owe the Olkalau Water and Sanitation. They cleared their debt.
Okay, what about Nyandarua? Nyandarua Water.
As county government, even as they are looking at the figures, I would like to add that we are really supporting these agencies because we are helping them to remove the old pipes so that they can reduce on revenue water. We are also trying to help them to solarize the water, the way the water is being gotten from the sources. Therefore, other than paying the bills, we are also doing extra to make sure that the agencies perform well.
Thank you, Chair. Through my Apple Governor, I want to address the issue of Nyandarua Water. My name is CP Dixon Zero, MD. Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company is a bit unique because it's a rural-based company. We are about 97% of our customers, they are domestic. We are disconnect their water, they have got alternatives. They have got boreholes, they have got the dams, they can go there. So what we have practiced here is that we go and we talk to our customers. We tell them about the safety of our water. And now those who have got debts, we try to have some brands. You owe us 20,000, can you come back? You start paying pore so that at least you can have the numbers, so that we can be able to keep our company afloat. We have got only 3 institutions, that is the Institute and the Nyandarua prisons, who pays very well. Others, they are domestic customers. Thank you.
Senator Mudama.
Chair, I want to ask a question maybe which is not even a part of the query, but does the customers, the regular customers, have their deposits there? Maybe in case they default, you can...
That's a separate question.
Hold it. Yeah, that's what I've said, Chair.
Maybe we leave it, we are coming to it next. It is a separate query. Any other issue, members? You know the 2 MDs, you are directly responsible in getting this money from the people of the water company. You are earning a salary to recover this money. And this is the 3rd time we are talking about the same thing. We have talked about it every year, about long outstanding receivables. So I would like to hear from you, because we want next time you come here, you should be telling us that you have zero balances on your receivables. So what time frame do you want this committee to give you to recover this money? Because this money will have to be recovered. If it is not recovered, the auditor will keep on raising this query until Jesus comes. So you need to tell us when is the last date you are going to recover this money. Let's start with Nyandarua.
Thank you, Chair. Through my governor, is that you realize within a period of 1 year, we're able to recover 5 million from 29 to 24 million. So I'm projecting on that because these are individuals, these are not companies, they are individual people. Even some of them might have even died. So you allow us at least to go systematically. At least at every year we can be able to recover 5 million until the end, because you can't be able to get 24 at once.
Some of us will not be. If you go that way, some of us will not be here, but some of us will be doing other things. Senator Tobiko will be someone somewhere in Kajiado. Yeah, so you need to give us a time frame this year. Welcome the Senator for Nyandarua, the only Methu, Honorable Methu. So we are talking about long outstanding receivables for Olkalau and the Nyandarua water. So you need to give us definite dates, because you remember 3 years since you started coming here, you've been promising us, but you need to give us when are you likely to receive this money. We know the challenges which are there, but the problem here is that the auditor will not stop telling us about this issue until the full amount is recovered. So you need to deploy all innovative means to get this money recovered.
Thank you, Chair. Through the governor, as far as Nyandarua is concerned, as I seen trajectories from 29 million to 24 million, we know you are not exhausted all the mechanisms, including taking them to court and also using other, like now the CRP. Now that we have collected 5 million, talking only, we improved now using the police unit, using the CRB and taking them to court, we can be able to collect double of that. So we are talking of the next 2 years, we should have collected now half of that 24 million, that's 12 million. That's my promise to the committee.
Senator Mbugo, you are from Nyandarua.
Yes, Chair, I'm from Nyandarua, and I'd want to hear from the MD through the governor. Can you candidly tell this committee, out of these 24 million, there is an amount which you know is uncorrectable? And when you say 2 years, 2 years you might think it's very far and you'll be here. Just tell this committee that a certain percentage cannot be corrected. And I believe in this Nyandarua debt management policy, you have an option of writing off, because if you went to Bogwa, who would do something, then you found that he died, where will you correct? So what percentage do you think you need to write off? Because you cannot tell us that you are going to correct everything.
Thank you, Chair. Through Governor, is that the projection of just explained to the committee that in the next 2 years we are planning to have the 10 to correcting half of that amount. We are talking around 12 million. Now put in place, because our policy talk of 3%, the finance policy and also the PPM talk of 5%. So if you put that in consideration, we improve between 5% and 3% will be uncorrectable, which now we can be able to write off. Thank you.
Yeah, you see, what the point is raising is very important for you, and not just you, even on Kalau, Nyandaru, because the matter can be dealt with accounting-wise. Because if there are people who cannot pay, either they have died or they have a peculiar reason why they are not paying, accounting provides that you can write off. You can write off those debts so long as you follow what is in the PFM, the process in the PFM on how to write off the debts. So that now you come and tell us that we have been able to write off this amount of debts and we followed the process, and therefore the debts we are chasing are this. But MD, the two MDs, you've not made that effort to deal with the matter in a bookkeeping way, in an accounting way. So maybe one of the things we'll direct you to do is that when you go back, look at the debts you can write off, and then take it through the process guided by the PFM Act. Which debts can you write off, which debts you can recover. And then you tell us as a committee, but we cannot continue. Every year we are coming in, we are talking about the same thing. That will not be right. Senator Methu?
Thank you very much, Chair, and allow me to go on record. My name is John Medhu, the Senator of the Republic of Kenya from Nyandarua County. I welcome Governor Badilisha. Sorry, Chairman, that I came in a bit late. I was attending another parliamentary business, and everybody before us are people that I know. They are my people from Nyandarua, so I know all of them. And if this question will take you back, Chair, if it has been answered, you would just ignore it because I know you. Maybe there are things that you have discussed when I was not here, but in the management response, it indicates that there are negotiated partial payment agreements, and I would want to know, out of these 10 million, so how much do you intend, after negotiations, how much do you intend to now collect? This is for Kalau Water and Sanitation Company. How much have you negotiated? Because I think in a negotiation, you're negotiating with your customers. I've seen they're like, well, I don't have the specific number, but I think, or I imagine that the negotiation is, if you owe Kalau Water 1,000, so you have negotiated and said that if you pay this, we can net off the debt. So how much have you negotiated?
Thank you, Chair, through the Governor. We have done some few negotiations, especially bulk water, especially hospital, health, and other schools, and they have responded to the issue.
And no, you didn't get my question. Are there specifics? Like, for example, JM Karaoke Hospital owes or Kalau Water, like, say, 1 million or 500,000, and you have negotiated and told them that if you pay this, then we can net off the debt.
Yes, we negotiated with the Kalau Hospital, the JM, and they have paid almost half the amount.
Okay.
Any other issue, honorable members, on this particular item? Mr. Kinoti?
Chairman, my thought is that the aging list of the debt would be a very good tool to help the committee monitor how the debt is moving. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, the two MDs, can you provide the aging list? Because you didn't provide one.
You can provide that. Yeah, it's one of the.
Why did you provide? Why didn't you? This is something so basic that we don't need to remind you to bring it. It is just an accounting requirement. When you tell us this is the debts, then you tell us how long have those debts been there. So I think the two MDs will give you 21 days to submit to this committee the aging list for the debts that are owed to the two water companies.
That's okay.
Auditor, the next query.
Thank you, Chair. The other query we cut across the two companies is long outstanding payables. And for Nyandarua Water, the statement of financial position, and as disclosed in Note 26 to the financial statements, reflects Kenya shilling 43,726,459 in respect to trade and other payables, which include payables totaling to 23,000,000 973,817 that have been outstanding for a period of over 1 year. Management did not explain measures put in place to clear the overdue trade and other payables. In the circumstances, long outstanding payables may attract penalties, interest, and litigation, which may result to additional financial costs to the company. Thank you.
Governor, your management response.
Thank you, Chair. I want to agree with the auditor that there has been that issue of outstanding payables, both in for Kalau and for Nyandarua. Our response would be that during the first half of 2025, this is for Kalau, during the first half of the 2024-25 financial year, the company operated at a tariff that had been gazetted in 2014. Over the past 10 years, operational costs have increased significantly, resulting in financial constraints and accumulation of long outstanding payables. The company now has a new tariff gazetted on 6 December 2024 and implemented in January 2025, taking effect in the second half of the 2024-2025 financial year. There was resistance among the customers during the implementation of the new tariff, despite various public participation forums conducted before the rollout of the new tariff. The implementation of the new tariff has resulted in improved revenue performance for the company, as illustrated below. In January, we had 2024, we had collected 4.4 million, 2025, 4.3, in February, 4.2, but in 2025 now we went to 5.7, resulting in an increase. March, it was 3.7 million, in 2025, 4.9 million. So that is, Chair, to say that the new tariff is assisting us. Then the other thing, Chair, I would like to tell the members, because I'm discussing both the agencies at the same time, is that we have already entered into an agreement, like in Nyahuasco, we owe them like 6 million. We have already entered into a discussion, and they say that they can waiver 4 million, then we pay the rest. We have also entered into a discussion with the Central Rift, and again, they have, we are in the process of asking them to waiver for us about 13 million. They have given us a condition that if we can do equivalent works, water works in the county equivalent to that 3 million, they are going to waiver. And like in this year's budget, we are going to do several water works in the county in order to meet the condition of Central Rift so that they can waiver. So that's another area where we are going to get our payables come down significantly.
So is that response for, that is for all Kalau?
For Karau, we have, yeah, that is for both Karau and Nyandarua and Nyandarua.
Because the amount in Nyandarua is 23.9 million. Is this 23?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so the approach is the same?
Yes, it's the same.
Auditor, your comments on the management response?
Thank you, Chair. We confirm the application of new tariff, but however, the issue is still outstanding until when we will now be able to see what the management is promising to undertake as a measure.
Okay. Any issue, or comment, query from members? Is set by Senator Medu.
Thank you very much, Chair. I see that the bulk of these outstanding payables are to the Central Rift Water Works Development Agency. and I am happy to see that the management has written to the CEO. I would want to maybe get from Governor and your team whether there is any, first, when was this request made to get the waiver, and whether there has been a response to it, and maybe finally how far you have gone with this matter, because this of Nyahuasco, the one that Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company, I'm very happy to hear that out of the 6.91 million that is owed by Nyandarua Water, you have already negotiated to get a waiver of 4 million. I think that is a step in the right direction. Maybe finally, Chair, and which is unrelated, and it's a position that I hold, and I think even Governor Badilisha would hold that position, and Senator Mbogo would hold that position. Our being clustered in the Central Rift Water Works Development Agency actually gives Nyandarua a raw deal. If you look at the kind of money and investment that government makes through that national entity vis-a-vis what is brought to Nyandarua, we honestly get the short end of the carrot, because I checked of their last 19 advertised waterworks development for Nyandarua, Nakuru and Baringo. 10 were in Nakuru, 8 were in Baringo, and only 2 were in Nyandarua. And this has been a trend. And so therefore, because the Senate is where county governments would come and claim their, and lay their claims, it is our position that we would feel that being clustered, and the word Central Rift Valley already puts us in a very precarious situation, because ordinarily it looks like this water development agency is meant to serve Baringo and Nakuru, and Nyandarua is a periphery. I know this is a position Governor Badilisha holds, and it's my personal position that we would want the reclustering to happen, so that we are also clustered with people with whom we share the same challenges. Maybe clustered with Laikipia and Nyeri, but this is a conversation for another day.
I really get your position. You know, you are the former chair of Environment and Water and Lands, so you understand that sector very well. I want to agree, but I also want to agree that the relationship between the water service providers in the county and the so-called water regional water bodies, it is something that needs to be redefined, because water is a devolved function. So that is a matter that we can discuss later. But for this particular case, my only concern, Governor, is that this query has reappeared 3 times and the answers are the same. What are you going to do different to repay this money?
Chair, if you look at the table on page 2, we did a comparative analysis. That is the year 2024 and 25, and you can look at the total correction. In 2024 was 23 million, but in 2025, in a similar period, it was 30 million. Meaning this tariff has already begun giving us results, and therefore the conversation will change as we move. So on the tariff, it has worked. Then the rest remains the mechanism we have put to correct the situation, including asking for waiver and also managing the water bodies properly, which you have demonstrated. Therefore, though it is recurring, but with a difference of positive magnitude, Chair.
But the tariff refers to all Kalau. You have not said much about the tariff review for Nyandarua. So what is
I think we have a similar story for Nyandarua. Maybe the manager can also say something.
Thank you, Chair. Through my Governor, as I said, Nyandarua is unique as compared to Karao. We the main concern with Nyandarua Water is a rural water company, whereby the most difficult thing is to collect this money from our consumers. So our mechanism was first of all to bring our consumers back, make sure that we are correcting. From our statistics, you can see that we have doubled our revenue from 3 million per month to now almost 6 to 7 million. That's now will help us now to commit our money to pay our obligations when they fall due. And now with the prudent management, which now the new leadership has shown by recruiting new management and coming with the people who can able now to manage this company well unlike before. Thank you, Chair.
Senator Mbugo.
Thank you, Chair. Picking it from where Senator Medho had left, you have done well, Governor, in negotiating with Central Lift. But because this committee and generally Parliament is a house of record, that arrangement between you and Central Lift, I think it is important you provide us a copy such that when you come here we are following up, because I can see the last correspondence between you and them was 1 year ago, and we'd want to see the progress being made, because even sometime they will appear to us and we will be asking them some questions. So we would want to have that copy of the discussion.
Yeah, so maybe Governor, you can say something about your agreement with the...
I really want to agree with the Senator. They agreed to write to us, and from here I think I'm sending my Waziri to make sure that record is documented and brought to the attention of the House.
Yeah, Senator Tobiko.
Yeah, Chair. Chair, I hope you're done with those ones you're asking, because I'm asking a different thing.
Oh, what is it?
Chair, there is a question from the auditors that has captured my attention, and I thought we cannot gloss over it. The non-compliance to the law on staff ethnic diversity. Chair, I would want to know why is it that there are counties that are preserved to some communities and not others, whereas there are counties that are open to all Kenyans.
Compliance with the ethnic. Every water company has this query. So maybe all Kalau.
Yeah.
Okay, Governor.
Thank you, Chair. I want to agree that the status of staffing is as the Senator has stated, but I would like to really say that Nyandarua is not a preserve of a certain community, and we are encouraging different communities of this country to come up and apply for these positions whenever they are advertised. And we will continue doing that. We can see some positive change, though not to the level that we will all expect, but we are moving toward that direction, Chair.
No, I can see Senator Kisang is smiling. You try,
Chair, I was conversing with Paris here that when she becomes the governor 2027, she needs to be ready to answer that question. Even though, Kajiado is very cosmopolitan. You see, when you go to a rural county, there's no way you'll get Kisang inside Nyandarua unless they are those positions that may be competitively advertised. And then the MCS, let me tell you, it's you the one I the MCS will say, we must employ our own.
Chair, I had expected Senator Siengo to defend my governor, because I was telling him one of the senior most water officers who is seated there is a village mate of us. So Mr. Mwanze is there and they come from the same village. So the governor has tried.
Okay, honorable members, time is really not on our side. Auditor, we had agreed you raise the query on non-revenue water.
Thank you, Chair. Apart from non-revenue, there is something unique on Nyandarua water, the issue of land without title deeds.
Land?
Without title deeds.
Yeah, you can raise that as well.
So, Chair, the statement of financial position is disclosed in Note 15A to the financial statement reflects Kenya shilling 11,744,498 in respect to property, plant, and equipment. It includes Kenya shilling 1 million as valued land. However, record available revealed that the company had 11 parcels of land, but only one was included in the asset register and disclosed in the financial statements. In addition, only one title deed was provided for audit review. Management did not provide for verification the title deed in respect of 10 parcels of land owned by the company. In the circumstances, the ownership and value of land owned could not be confirmed.
Response?
Chair, I think I can respond to that one on title. Maybe the MD will see something on the non-revenue water. Yes, we have about 11 parcels of land, but we have picked it up. In fact, one of them, that is Madaraka Tank or Jororok, has already been resolved. We already have a title. And for the others, negotiations are going on, and they are in progress, all of them. We have started doing something about it, but one parcel we have already completed, and we want to believe that in due time we will have another few of them being getting complete until we finalize with all of them. We already have an ad hoc committee which is dealing specifically on that to ensure that all these parcels get officially documented.
Senator Medu.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I want to pick it from where Governor Badilisha has left. This ad hoc committee, I think, was appointed on the 11th of January 2025. So I would want to know what is the status update of what they have done for the 1 year, 5 days they have been in office. And maybe, out of curiosity, just get to understand why 4 out of 4 men were appointed into this ad hoc committee. It is not compliant with the law. Only men were appointed into this ad hoc committee. I've seen there are 4, and only men were fit to serve in this ad hoc committee.
The MDs can say something on that, Chair. MD.
Thank you, Chair. Through my EPON Governor, you find from the table which you have submitted to this committee is that most of these they are community water projects based all over Nyandarua County. Remember, Nyandarua Water and Sanitation Company covers all of Nyandarua County. So this committee consistent on directors who represent various areas. So the areas which are highlighted there is where we have got members of the board representing those areas. So we have to form a committee so that they can be able to influence the committee, the communities, so that they accept them to give us the transfer of these ownership documents. Remember, you are mandated, when you get in the office, you are mandated, first thing, to come and take over all the water projects within Nyandarua. So you are now to go and look for these committee members to come and now agree and give the takeover. They agree the takeover, but the ownership was a problem. So you have to get people who are influential in that area to help us now to talk, or use that one, the local committees to accept the transfer. As you can see now, there are those members who represent those specific areas.
So you mean those areas don't have any competent women?
They propose men.
Chair, we find that we are, like now the areas which are okay, they are represented by women. Like now we don't have problem with Mairoinya, they're not part of Nyandarua, they are the women representing the bond. But the other side is the men who represent the bond. So it is well balanced, Chair. Thank you.
Through you, Chair, my question was two-pronged, and I think that answer serves it. If they are being proposed by other people, but what is the status update? How far have they gone, so that we are certain that this question does not appear in the next set of audit?
Thank you, Chair. Through the Governor, it's not that easy because remember the issue of all these communities, they improve their own all that installation. So we have tried ourselves as a company, but now we have taken involved with the collaboration of the county government to assist us in this. We have been doing many sanitation meetings with the county to assist us, and I can say that we almost talk of around 70% through, because most of them now they are coming to agree. Now that we are getting the service, then the company can get over the ownership. For example, we have got this swearer, we have already been given the title. So I think the trajectory is good, and we believe by the end of this financial year, we will be around 90%. Thank you, Chair.
Very well. Any other query on the issue of land ownership? So, Governor,
Yes, maybe Chair, at least it should be in the records of this committee that the MD commits that by the end of this financial year, which is 5 months, these matters will be 90% resolved. We should hold you account on your words.
Yeah, because last time you were here, you made a similar commitment that this matter will be resolved before the next meeting. Now the next meeting has happened and the matter is still pending. So we give you until end of this financial year, which is when? June?
June, yes.
That is June. Yeah. So, Auditor, we can proceed to non-revenue water.
Thank you, Chair. The other cross-cutting issue across the two companies is non-revenue water, and I read for Nyandarua. During the financial year, the company produced 731,896 cubic meters of water, out of which only 448,855 cubic meters was billed to the customers, leaving a balance of 283,041 cubic meters, which represent approximately 39% of the total volume of water produced as non-revenue water, which has projected physical value of 21,262,496. The non-revenue water of 39% was over and above the allowable loss of 25% set by the Water Services Regulatory Board guideline. In the circumstances, the company have lost revenue through unaccounted for water. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your response?
Thank you, Chair. Maybe allow my CEC to respond to that.
Thank you, Chair. Through my Governor, the non-revenue water is quite high, and the reason is because of the dilapidated water infrastructure, destruction of pipes during roadwork construction, and also in the Abadea, we have intakes that provide water to the people of Nyandarua. So we have wild animals destroying the pipelines. There are also fault meters that leads to estimation and also illegal connections. However, Nyandarua Water and Sanitation has involved the Water Police Unit to bring down on NRW, and also there are NRW reduction strategies that have been passed by the board. Also, there is upgrading of reticulation networks. The networks now they are using HDPE pipes, which are more sturdy. They are more they don't get destroyed easily, and the reduction has borne fruit because now we are at 39%. But we intend before the end of this year to bring it down to around 36%.
Can we have a similar response from the other company?
Thank you, Chair, through the Governor. Also in Olkalau, we have tried so much. We are at 36%. We have instituted the NLW unit to deal with the lowering the NLW. Also, we have done litigation through the Governor He has assisted so much on rehabilitation, and still we are doing the same in other zones. Thank you.
So, Auditor, your comments on the responses?
Thank you, Chair. The management has demonstrated some measures, but they are still outside the allowable threshold, so they start non-compliance. Thank you.
You see, what I can say about this non-revenue water is still a challenge to both companies, because the amount of non-revenue water is higher than the benchmark of 25%. And Governor, though some minimal progress has been made, we would want the figure to go down sharply, particularly for Nyandarua, which is now at 39%. 39% is 14% above the benchmark of 25%. And you know, when we say non-revenue water, it means that water that is not, that water that cannot be accounted for, that water that is lost. And there could be other reasons why that water is not accounted for. And if that water is not accounted for, it means that there is loss of revenue, and that it means that the profitability of the company is affected. That is why this particular company also has an issue around going concern, meaning that the company is insolvent. So what are these innovative strategies that you are going to put in place to reduce it even further? Because these water companies will not make profit unless the issue of non-revenue water is resolved. They cannot make money, they cannot make profit, and they cannot pay their debts. Even non-revenue water is very high. So what are these innovative ways, measures that you are going to adapt to make this company have a reduced non-revenue water?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for the comment. I would like to say, when I came in as the governor of Nyandarua, the non-revenue water was at 45%, which was quite high. Due to lack of the boards and all that, there were no people managing this agency. Now, last year we were at 41, this year we are at 39. It shows that we are moving so slow in the right direction. I have asked the agency, and they have promised me, which they have done this year, connecting 500 new customers, and this should continue because when we connect new customers, we are using the right pipes and we are using the right staff to do it, and therefore that one is going to reduce. And again, as a county government, every year we are putting aside a budget to remove the old pipes, to extend the reticulations with the right material. So Chair, plus the police unit, that is the check unit for these connections, we are going to be at a good place towards the 25, which is allowable. So Chair, I want to promise this committee from 45, and last year 41, and this year 39, we are going to improve.
Senator Mbogo.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Governor, because this Nyandarua water touches villages which are very familiar to me. I'm looking at the Nyandarua water, the non-revenue water reduction strategy, which is unfortunately not dated. And the last paragraph gives the costing, which is estimated to reduce this water. And there is a figure there mentioned of 544 million. Maybe Governor, through your team, I would want to know out of this strategy, and I don't know whether when it was maybe supposed to be implemented, how much of this money has been maybe budgeted, and what is the progress?
Thank you very much, Chair. Through my able governor, actually, as you have stated, the issue of non-living water is relevant in the House. It's something which is bothering, especially a rural water company like Nyandarua. We are certain with the strategy we have elaborated, which even has the budget. This is a long-term budget, which is not achievable immediately, but we can be able to say that we have got able to rope with the county government, and they have donated us with pipes worth almost 5 million to reroute some of the areas, because most of the pipes, they pass through the people's land, and there we cannot be able to control them. So the pipes which were written by the county government of Nyandarua, we were able to reroute. I can be able to say that out of the 7 schemes we have got 3 good zones which are around Nyandarua town, the bedroom of Nyandarua town. Others in the rural areas, mainly in the rural areas, we score almost 80%. But now after rerouting, we are able now to come with now lowering down the revenue. The other was the managing our bond. We were able to approve. There was a long-term, a very old policy whereby the customers who are buying meters. So we find when customers buy the meters, they buy low qualities. That now has changed. We are the one who buying customers' meters, and also the county government assistance to buy. With that, because like this year they are giving us the budget of 500, and also we are on buying 1,000 meters. We are going now to replace all that. And I believe this at 9 within as I said as a promise again. By the end of the financial year, this 39 should go down to almost 34, 35, because we have realized blocking of our meters and now the pipes passing through the people's hands. Those are strategy we are doing, and we are going also to have other sources. We are going to look even for monies, because water companies are supposed to also come out to what we call conversion financing. We approach even the financiers to come on board and help us to save this, so that the amount you are saving, you can be able to pay the loan from other people. The bond and the county has given away, so that we can be able to approach the financiers. And this is coming on well, because you are receiving concept papers from many banks that they can be able to finance this, because they can see there's money in it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll ask 2 very quick questions, one to the MD and one to the Minister. And to just make material declaration, the MD is a friend of mine, I play golf with him. But just allow me to ask questions. It is work. Just as you're defending your work, I will defend mine. Then we shall meet on the course. Now, are you able to categorize of this water that is being lost, about 204,000 cubic meters? You say that the losses are from water theft, water burst and leakages, and illegal connections. Are you able to categorize so that you know of these 204, roughly how much is water that is stolen, how much is water that goes out when there are water bursts and leakages, so that you're also able to know where to put the resources? Because you can put resources for maybe compliance and looking at meters that are faulty, but the bulk of the water is being lost because of the leakages. You have to get to know where you put your money. So you can only get to know if you are able to categorize and get to know what are your priorities. Are your priorities replacing the pipes, or are your priorities on compliance? Then a follow-up to that question now, Azili. So do you have, it may not be a one financial year budget, but do you know how much you require to replace the old faulty pipes with the new pipes that you say are now more effective? So how much you require, how much are you putting in every financial year, how much have you put in this financial year of this year, and after how long are you able to replace all the faulty pipes?
Chair, before the answer, I remember, Chair, sometimes back, we had given instructions to the water agencies to classify the NRW into physical losses and commercial losses. I don't know why they're still submitting just a block figure, so that we can easily know where they can get quick wins between the physical and commercial losses.
Yeah, actually, the point is that we said that we needed very clear differentiation between physical losses, that is losses that are occurring through infrastructure and such, and commercial losses, so that we know how much is lost under each category. Because our belief is that some of these high non-revenue water is not purely physical losses. That's why the benchmark is 25%, because the expert knew that there will be losses as a result of infrastructure. But when it's above 25%, then we will want to know what are the commercial losses. And this is the same thing Senator Matthew was referring to. How much of that water is stolen? So what is the commercial loss in the two companies, MDs? You need to give us, because we had given clear direction that moving forward, we want clear categorization of the two losses. So how much is out of the 39%, how much of that is commercial loss?
Thank you, through my
Can you
governor.
respond to Senator Matthew as well?
Thank you, Chair, and my Senator. Thank you very much for that concern. I agree the issue of physical and commercial loss. When we start with now this team, which was meant to address the issue of revenue, first of all, we have to see the low-hanging fruits. And we found that the easiest way to reduce this revenue is, first of all, underneath the physical. The leakages, the piping, the where the water, when they are burst, all that. And it was very easy to reduce that, because first of all, when you route pipelines from runs to the roadside, it was the easiest way to stop the stealing of water. Then we have the issue of installations of gate valves, so that when there are some burst, we can be able to control that. And then with that, we are able to see, and our chair, maybe when I'm giving the other report on within 21. So the policy have talked about buying our own meters. The issue of physical, which is about the quota, we are handling it very well, because I can see that one of the biggest area was on Jorok, where we are recording out around 87% of land revenue. It has gone down now to 50 something out of relocating. So now that what we are handled, now we go back now to commercial. Thank you.
So what about Nyandarua?
That was Nyandarua.
That's Nyandarua?
Yeah.
Or Kalau? Just focus on the issue of commercial losses.
Yes.
How are you addressing it? And by the way, after this meeting, we request that you give us a further breakdown indicating how much of the losses are commercial and how much are physical, so that the community can understand it further and know where the water is being lost.
Through the chair, thank you, Chair, through the governor. We had done a DMA, district metering area, as an experiment in a zone known as site and service, and we realized 75% was commercial, the NRW, 25 was physical. And to tackle on that, we have started replacing the meters, the aging meters, to curb that issue. Therefore, the experiment is around 75 and 25%. Thank you.
Thank you, through the chair and through my governor. On the issue of replacement of old and faulty infrastructure, the government under Governor Kiarie Badilisha has been having an allocation of not less than 20 million per year, so that all those pipes that are dilapidated are replaced, and we have really been assisting the companies like Nyandarua's. They had 600 meters replaced this year to replace the old ones, so that we avoid giving average meter readings. Also, there is improvement of billing improvement. It has really improved, so that because some of these average meters are given because the meters are within the households, the locked areas. We have been moving them out so that our readers are able to access them. About also the attitude of our people. We have been investing in capacity building and the paradigm shift of our people to appreciate the fact that these companies need to be sustainable, because what the people have been believing is that water should be free. And we have to change that attitude. And we have done a big part with both companies, that is Olowasco and Nyandarua, to convince them that they have to pay for water. Thank you.
Okay, so you see, again, this is one area that the committee is likely to give a recommendation on timeline, because we've been talking about non-revenue water for too long. This is the third time we are talking about it. So I think as we retreat, we will give a common direction on the matter of non-revenue water. Honorable members, before I close, I would like if any member has any further issue you want to raise on these two reports. I know Senator Mudama, you wanted to raise the issue of customer deposits.
Yes, Chair, and I can see there is already a query about it. I just wanted to know if they have been able to repay the customer deposits, and if they are aware of the law, what it says about the deposit, because it should not exceed a period of 1 year before it is repaid, if it was borrowed in the correct manner. Thank you.
That was under which company?
It is Nyandarua.
Auditor, you can guide us.
Unpaid.
Yes, it's it is Nyandarua, unsupported customer deposits. It's 134,000. Auditor, is that the figure?
5,5.390.
Okay, Auditor, you can take us through that.
Thank you, Chair. The supported customer deposit of amount of 5,533,683 as refundable deposit, whereas bank account had a balance of 134,920, resulting in an explained variance of 5,395,754.
Maybe I know the response is too long, and we have run what you are doing about this.
Thank you, Chair. I allow my MD, who is handling it, to answer.
Thank you, Chair. Through my governor, actually, these